The story so far, the Brahmaputra Valley that encompasses the northeast part of India witnesses floods almost every year, leaving behind a tale of death and destruction. Even before the onset of monsoon in Assam this year, rain over the past week has wreaked havoc, with much of Assam submerged, crop destroyed, and lakhs displaced. By June 25, the death toll rose to 118. The town of Silchar in Kachar district remains submerged for the sixth straight day, according to the official. The total population affected by the floods, however, declined to the 33.03 lakh in 28 districts, as against the previous day figure of 45.34 lakhs in 30 districts. A bulletin issued by the Assam State Management Disaster Authority. First point is the extent of destruction. So far, Assam has recorded an excess rainfall of 109% in June. As per the Meteorological Department, the state has witnessed 528 mm of actual rainfall against the normal 252.8 mm. More than 500 villages and cropland has been inundated, with the Brahmaputra River reaching in embankment due to incessant rainfall. The river is presently flowing above the danger level at Dhubri, Golpara, Guwahati, Tezpur, and Nimtihar. Beside the Brahmaputra rivers, Beki, Manas, Pagladia, Putimari, Kopansiri are flowing above the danger level, and Kopili is above the highest flood level in Kampur area of central Assam, Nagon district. Urban areas of Barpeta, Kachar, Darang, Golpara, Kamrup, Korimganj, Nalbari, Udalguri are also underwater. Heavy rain has triggered landslides in Kachar, Imahashaw, Golpara, Halikandi, Kamrup, Korimganj district, throwing the normal life out of gear. Road and rail service remain disrupted in several parts of the state. Food and potable water is not easily available. Road or bridges have suffered serious damage. The destruction is not limited to human alone. Some 60-100 animals have been washed away, and around 56 lakh were affected in the current wave of floods, according to the ASDMA report. More than 15% of Kaziranga National Park has been inundated, with the Brahmaputra flowing over the danger level, an official statement noted. At least 5 animals, including a leopard, have been killed in flood in the national park so far this year. Considering the critical state of the situation, the army has been deployed with the National Disaster Response Force in Hojai, Nalbari, Barpeta, Kachar, Darang, Kamrup districts. Over 2 lakh people have been sheltered in 800 relief camps, while 825 relief distribution centers have been set up. Assam gets flooded every year. Floods have been a way of living for people living in Assam. For centuries, the southwest monsoon has been followed by flood in low-lying area of Assam, which is why it is referred to as flood plains. People once waited for floods as the mineral-rich water would replenish the fertility of their land. The Brahmaputra is also critical to the Kaziranga National Park, as it bound by the river on one side. In recent years, however, extent the devastation due to floods has been increased significantly. Around 40% Assam land, 31.05 lakh hectare, the total 78.5 lakh hectare is prone to floods, according to the National Commission of Floods. Roughly, this is around 10% the flood-prone area of the country. Nearly 30% of Assam land, 22.54 lakh hectare, was affected by the flood from 1998 to 2000. According to a report by the Indian Space Research Organization (ISRO), it is at about 2.2 million hectares suffered damage due to the flood, at least one during this period. Over the years, more area have come under the grip of flood. The annual area affected by the floods in 3 lakh with Central Water Commission data from the 1953 to 2016, 26 lakh people are affected every year in Assam on average, while 47% and 10,961 animals die. The state incurs damage of up to 128 crore for a population of over 3 crore. This leaves a huge impact on the economy of Assam is the Brahmaputra factor. Assam, situated at the foothills of the Himalayas, comprise two valleys, Brahmaputra and Bharat, named after the respective rivers, and the two hills district along with a huge network of over 20 large rivers and 50 tributaries. The mighty Brahmaputra River originates from the Himalayas and enters India through Arunachal Pradesh before flowing into the Bay of Bengal. It flows through Assam over a length of around 650 kilometers with an average width of 5.46 kilometers, making it the principal river that crisscrosses the floodplains. Coming from the Kailash range at an elevation of over 500 meters, the rivers get highly sedimented by the time it enters the Assam. An average slope of about 2.82 km come down about 0.1 km. Due to this flattening of the slope, there is a sudden drop in velocity. The river deposits huge quantities of the sediment and over the debris collected from the hilly terrains on the riverbed, raising its level. During summer, the sedimentation increases, soil erodes with the melting of the glacier. Multiple research papers have noted the high level of sedimentation of the Brahmaputra, which may raise the level of the river and reduce its water carrying capacity. Additionally, the monsoon is intense in the northeast. According to the State Disaster Management Authority, annual rainfall average around 2,900 mm, with maximum perception in July and June. The Water Resources Ministry of Assam states that 85% of annual rainfall in the Brahmaputra basin takes place during the monsoon months. Besides, the valley gets a good amount of rainfall in April and May due to the thunderstorm activities, which account for flooding during heavy rain in June when the soil is already saturated. During monsoon, highly sedimented river water from the Himalayas combines with the rain-fed water bodies in India, resulting in the water spilling over land, the narrow valley leading to the floods. Another notable factor is that Assam lies in a semi-secondary active zone, and increases in construction activities in the recent area has resulted in the frequent landslides, earthquakes, landslide also push sediment and debris into rivers, which further raises the riverbed and increases the risk of flood. Is riverbank erosion, as sedimented rivers move through the state along with their tributaries. They take with the same soil and sediment from the banks. Soil erodes and river expand as it gets more area. This result is flooding. This erosion of the land alongside rivers has emerged as a serious problem of Assam, a major cause of internal displacement of people due to the disappearance of villages. The width of Brahmaputra increased up to 15 km due to bank erosion at some places in Assam. A report on climate change by the government states that more than 4.2 lakh hectares of land has been eroded by the Brahmaputra. Its tributaries since 1950, nearly 7.5% of total state area, nearly 800 hectares of land is lost every year on average. Assam is also losing in farmland due to riverbank erosion. More than 3,800 square kilometers of farmland in Assam, around half the size of Sikkim, has been lost since 1954. Point is human intervention. Embankments are constructed to confine the course of a river. The solution, however, has evolved to be an added challenge over the time in Assam. Construction of embankments first started in Assam in 1960 to control flood. 6 decades later, most of these embankments have either outlived their utility or are in bad condition. Many others were washed away every year as floods follow monsoon. River water reaches these barriers and inundated houses and land. Successive governments in Assam have been spent nearly 30,000 crore on building embankment over the last 6 decades. The tales of destruction every year are the evidence of the ineffectiveness of these barriers. Other man-made factors like deforestation, hill cutting, encroachment, and destruction of the wetland have also worsened the flood situation. Embankment led to the encroachment of river banks with an increasing number of people building houses and setting up establishments close to the river. There has also been a population boom in the state, which has put more pressure on the state ecology. The population density of Brahmaputra Valley has increased from the 9 to 29 people per square meter in 1940-41 to 398 per square meter, the plain area of Assam as per the census. According to the report, the Brahmaputra Board, the board under the Ministry of the Jal Shakti monitors Brahmaputra and the Bharat Valley over the states under the Brahmaputra basin. And last and least point is climate change. Climate change is said to lead to more frequent and severe floods in Assam. As per a report on climate change by the state government, the report adds the extreme rainfall event will increase by 38%. Heavy rainfall replacing the continuous low or normal rainfall during monsoon combined with the melting glacier due to rising temperature will mean the rivers from the Himalayas will be carrying more water and sediment even before they enter Assam, where smaller rivers are swelled up due to incessant rainfall. This increases the possibility of the frequent flash floods in low-lying areas. Is the way forward. Once a necessity for farmland in Assam, floods have become a nightmare which return annually due to a combination of factors. The state's unique topography, climate, socio-economic condition make it more vulnerable to disaster like flood, with over one-third of population living below the poverty line. In a master plan on the river in 1982, the Brahmaputra board suggested that dams and the reservoirs should be built in magnitude floods. However, the construction of dam opposed, which led to the suspension of several projects. The Water Resources Ministry of Assam focused on short-term measures like the construction of embankments to prevent the annual disaster. Successive governments built embankments and repaired them after flood damage or washed away. The cycle continued. A flood hazard attles for Assam purpose non-structural measures mitigate impact of flood like flood forecasting, warning, flood profiting, regulation of reservoir. These measures, however, yet to be translated on the ground. The problem has now increased manifold and impact of climate change is likely aggravated the situation. With short-term measures proving inadequate, experts unanimously agree the long-term planning is the key. One recommendation is to ensure that more credible information is made available so that preparedness can be improved and residents can be altered. Further, experts have indicated the region needs more institutionalization and technologically advanced system to allow for credible and fast warning system. Information should be available in local language. With the forecast in, one can calculate how much more water fall downstream, thereby altering people in advance to evacuate. The nature of river is such that there is no way one can flood through the whole of Assam, so can keep in mind flood will happen. This is very bad news. Please, each and everyone who watching my video, please support Assam people. please support the drowning people who are affected this flood. Like my video, please comment, share, subscribe and press the bell notification. Take care. Bye bye. Peace out.